Nation, we back. What is going on, everybody? Thank you guys for pulling up this morning. We got a lot to talk about today. I know we've been kind of off of the radar with Raiders Primos, but we're back. It has been quite some time that we have jumped on a live with you guys. Nate should be pulling up shortly. It has been quite the ride lately, guys. We had no news coming out from the Raiders camp on the Raiders side. We did have, the Derek Carr news coming out yesterday and Josh Jacobs news coming out yesterday. We're not going to go too deep into the Derek Carr because he ain't here anymore. He's not a Raider. We're going to talk about what's going on in the Raiders organization, which is Josh Jacobs. They franchise tagged him. We're going to give our thoughts on that. And then we're going to give our thoughts on the quarterback prospects coming out of the draft and some free agents. Who is going to be the Raiders quarterback? That's what I care about. I don't care about the Saints. I don't care about any other team other than the Raiders. I want to focus on what the Raiders are going to do at the quarterback position. There's reports coming out that the Raiders are still in the mix of Aaron Rodgers. We gave our thoughts on the Aaron Rodgers. We'll discuss more. How do we feel about Ziegler and McDaniels? What are they doing? We know they're a combo that's not going to show their entire hand. Last season, the Devontae Adams trade proved that. We thought that was a trade that was going to be dead. And then, one day you wake up and Devontae Adams is a Raider. So who's to say that's not going to happen this season, or we're just going to wake up one day and Aaron Rodgers is a Raider. But with that, thank you guys again for pulling up. If this is your first time pulling up to Raiders Primos, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like, and hit the bell, and share the link around. Let's get as many thoughts and opinions on the Josh Jacobs topic because this is something that I've been seeing around in the nation. Now people are freaking out that, Josh Jacobs, he got tagged. He unfollowed the Raiders on social media, and people just started losing their shit. People were saying, Josh McDaniels is running this team into the ground because of what Josh Jacobs said earlier after the Super Bowl, leading up to the Super Bowl week, that either you pay him or you build around him, and they tagged him without getting him any help. And people started losing their shit. They're saying, McDaniels is not doing what Josh Jacobs asked for. I'm like, okay, we need to pump the brakes real quick. Because let's look at this from a football standpoint. Free agency doesn't start till I think next week, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. I think it's next week on the 14th, I believe. Here, let me double check for you guys. I want to double check. But free agency, I know it starts sometime next week. Let me see. March 15th. Okay. It starts March 15th. That is when the official free agency period starts at 1 p.m. Pacific time. I believe the tampering period is around on the 13th at noon. So which is the Monday. Which is next Monday. Next Wednesday is when free agency actually opens up. So let's think about this, guys. With that information, who's to say is like, okay, Josh Jacobs, we can't come to you. We can't work a contract right now. How about we tag you? We wait a little bit. We're going to pay you $10 million. We're going to wait a little bit. You're going to see the guys that we bring in to give you some more help, and then we could come back and work out a contract. I don't see the problem with that. I don't see the problem with buying, because that's what the tag mainly is for, is to buy yourself more time so he can't go anywhere else. So that Jacobs can't go anywhere else. He can go kind of work out a deal, but the Raiders have an option to match that deal. I like this. It buys themselves more time. It gives a chance for Jacobs to see what the Raiders are going to do in free agency. Who are they going to bring in on the offensive side of the ball, specifically quarterback? And then also they can even play their hand into the drafting period too, because I believe they have till July or June. I have to go back and I want to give you guys. Let me double check on that. They have time to. Oh damn! I just bugged out. I just bugged out. Hold on. I just bugged out. All right, but they have time, and get some more thoughts on this. Please welcome the co-star of Raiders Primos, the man, the myth, the legend, Raider Nate. Raider Nate, what's
What
going
is good, bro? Bro, that's what's funny. I just took a quick peek and I just saw that you were live for like 10 minutes and I didn't realize that. I was on my phone.
on? Oh no, you good, bro. Like I was so late on it, bro. I was having issues with my laptop. The Wi-Fi was tripping like it always does,
Twipping, twipping.
Why does
Yeah.
it? But so real quick, bro. Like give your thoughts real quick on Josh Jacobs, bro. Like people losing their shit on social media, you know, saying like, "Oh, McDaniels is running this shit into the ground. Ziegler doesn't know what he's doing. Jacobs is not going to be a Raider." I'm like, do these people know how the franchise tag works? Like that's what are your thoughts, bro? What are your thoughts on Raiders tagging Josh Jacobs yesterday?
I mean, for me, it's nothing bad. In my opinion, I really wanted him back. I feel like a lot of people did, and they did what they did, and they by that they know what they want to do, and they want him back too, and they want to keep a leader on a team. Like we got rid of a leader, right? We want to keep our leaders on our team. But yeah, franchise tag. I'm not against it. I mean, shoot, anything to get him back, in my opinion.
No, and that's where I'm at. I mean, and I got it right here, guys. So the franchise tag deadline, the player Josh Jacobs has until July 15th to work out a long-term extension with the team, or they can sign the tag and play the 2023 season under that salary, which is $10 million, I believe. So with that, July 15th, you got free agency and the draft, and then you could go back and talk to Josh Jacobs to figure out a long-term contract. And if not, then hey, Jacob, sign the tag and we'll come back next season.
Yeah.
Like, but that's it. That's if he signs the tag. And a lot of people, I think that's what worries them. Is he going to sign the tag? I think McDaniels and Ziegler just want to buy themselves more time. Like they want to show Jacobs, like, hey, we heard you. We're gonna build around you. But
Yeah.
right now, like, I get it. You don't like. We're offering you whatever the deal is. I don't know what I don't know the deal specifically, what they're trying to offer him or anything. But whatever it is they're offering it because of free agency and draft. They want to go get guys, but they can't overpay a running back that can, you know, have a setback in 2-3 years, and then
Yeah,
he's
that just had a blowout year, like in
yeah.
1 year.
Like I
Yeah.
mean, let's look at this. Is Jacobs a beast? Yes, Jacobs is a beast. But you know who else was a beast? Todd Gurley, Ezekiel Elliott, bro. I remember Jay Ajayi. I don't know if you remember that guy. Had like 1 or 2 good seasons, and then went to the Eagles, completely shit the bed. Like these running backs have 2, 3 good seasons. The only consistent running back I've seen, and even he started showing regression late in his career. I mean, Adrian Peterson. That was probably
Well,
one
he's a
running back.
legend.
And Marshawn Lynch, another running back that I was, there's a lot of these guys that showed consistency over the years, but they still dropped off towards the end of their careers. I mean, they were fortunate to play long careers. Marshawn Lynch, not so much. He could have played longer, but I just think he was like, I got other
That
shit to
boy's
do.
a thug.
Yeah, he was like, I got other shit to do. But we gotta break this down I love Jacobs. You know how I feel about Jacobs. I love Jacobs. Like that. That's the boy. That is the
Yeah.
bell cow. Like I want him to be a Raider for life. But let's look at this from the NFL standpoint. Jacobs had 2 back-to-back 1,000 years in his rookie year and his sophomore year. I believe he had 9. He had over like I think he had 12 touchdowns his rookie year, and then I think he had a regret maybe like 6 or 7. I have to go back and look at that.
Mm.
But his junior year, he got hurt in 2020. He got hurt, and then 2021 he got hurt again, and then this past season he got hurt again. Like I
Crazy.
think and so I think in 2020 he got 2020 he got hurt, but he had a still good season. And last season in his third year he got hurt, and then even last season his senior year, his fourth year, he got hurt again. He is showing signs of like keep feeding him, but it's gonna wear him out. I mean, what where do you stand on that, Nate?
I
Like
mean, yeah, I mean, he's human. Everybody has their flaws. Everybody has their ups and downs. But he's like to me, I feel like he's still trying to get started into that consistent consistency like way of,
yeah,
being a running back, like consistently healthy, consistent numbers. He's still trying to get into that because he's fairly young still. Um, yeah, I feel like he can get to that point. We just some people just take longer than others, and I feel like I'm bringing back to that. No, I was playing 9 years. No, I was playing.
shout out to
No, that's
808.
different.
Shout out to 808. Salute to the nation. Salute to everyone pulling up. Um, I don't. I didn't want to talk about it, but I mean, we don't have to talk about it. The thing is, with Josh Jacobs, homeboy that was here for 9 years.
Mhm.
The reason why Jacobs' stats were like that is because homeboy who was here for 9 years couldn't get it done. Like
Yeah.
let's be honest, and that's what worries me. Jacobs was the offense. Jacob,
Mhm.
like he had the yard. Like, don't get me, bro. Man on a mission, man possessed. But this is what happens when people go into the contract year. They ball out. I hate to say this, but who's to say Derek Carr didn't ball out in 2016 because he was second to last in his rookie contract. He
Mm.
he got paid, regressed. Khalil Mack, I'm sorry, but homeboy, once he got paid, he had like one good year with the Bears and then dropped off. Don't get me wrong, I still would like Khalil Mack back in the silver and black. Don't
Bro,
get me wrong.
bro,
Boy's still
no, just
different. Don't get me
bro.
wrong. Boy is
Screw the
still
money
different.
and everything. I'm
Like,
down to just
yeah,
see
boy is
him
still
in the
different. Don't
silver
get me
and black.
wrong. But I I'm just afraid, like, okay, if Jacobs is asking for big boy money, don't get me wrong. Does he deserve that? Yes, he deserves it. I've said that an entire season. He deserves every single penny that he gets. It just doesn't mean he'll get it from the Raiders. That's what I said. It doesn't
Mm.
mean he'll get it from the Raiders. Would you hope the Raiders give it to him? Yeah, but why did Derek Carr get cut? Because of that contract. The Raiders could not afford that contract, which is why we'll discuss the Aaron Rodgers rumors because this is why it don't make no sense whatsoever why we would get him. But it's that contract. They need it. They're like, bro, we can't. I like what you know what, and I hate Nick Wright. I fucking hate Nick Wright.
Oh, that boy. Oh my
Fucking
gosh.
bro, I hate him. But he made a very good point. Now, this is off topic. This is
Pelican
talking
looking
about
at.
the Saints because people were posting it on social media, but he had a good point, and I felt like the Raiders can fall in this category. He said that the Saints, like, they're showing like they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like, they don't know what they're running. By signing Derek Carr, they don't know what the hell they're doing. That's what he was basically saying. He was
Yeah.
saying because they have so much money in dead cap. They have, I believe, they were in $44 million in dead cap 2 years ago. They are going to be, no, last year actually. This year, they're going to go $40 million in dead cap because they have to cut Jameis Winston. Now you add Derek Carr's money, and that's a lot of money you're paying for him. You had that, and then Michael Thomas. If you cut him, he's due $13 million. He is then going to be, if he's cut, he's left with $23 million in dead cap that towards the Saints. The Saints can't get better. Why? Because they have so much money going to players that's not even on the team. And I think, and here's why I bring that up. What does the Raiders have to do with that? Well, here's what it has to do with that. Is because they can't get talent because there's so much money going to players. Not players that not playing on the Raiders. There's a lot of money going to players that play on the Raiders, but they're not playing at the level that they're getting paid to. The Chandler Jones, the Derek Carrs, the Darren Wallers, the Hunter Renfros. You're paying a lot of money for guys that are not holding that end up to the bargain. Me and you discussed this. The only guys really earning their money, Max Crosby, Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs. That was the only three really earning their money. Other than that, outside of those three, who else is earning their money? Nobody. Hunter Renfro got his bag sitting on the bench. Waller
Maybe
got
like
his
the
bag
special teams, I
making
guess. I
terrible
don't
rap
know.
videos. You know,
Maybe like the special teams, I guess. I don't know. Daniel Carlson.
For real. Hey, Daniel Carlson, bro, you earning your money too, bro. Hey, he did good for you on fantasy, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
By the way, bro, I am picking the Saints kicker on fantasy. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. Will Lutz is my kicker.
What happened? Why? Was he
Because,
so
bro,
special?
we know they ain't gonna score for crap in the red zone.
Oh, I'm dead.
they gonna kick field goals like there's no tomorrow.
I was like kind of confused, and then
bro, you should know this, bro. You've been 9 years through this shit. You should know what they gonna get. Nah. It's all fun and joke. We joking over here, Raiders Primos. We having fun with this, but
I'm dead.
Give me your thoughts on that, Nate. Like, let's talk about it, chat. The cap. Let's talk about it because I'm seeing a lot of people.
Daniel,
bro, Raider Lugs, I freaking love you, bro.
Don't disrespect my DC Daniel Carlson.
Oh man,
I never thought of that too.
Bro, Raider
we
Lugs
still have a DC. That's
insane. I'm gonna get into your other comments too. But let's break this down real quick, Nate. The cap. We have like 40. I believe it was like 40, 45. Bro, stop it, guys. Stop it. I'm trying to keep a straight face.
He's gonna be number one pick.
Bro, he will be my number one pick, bro. I'm not gonna pick no running back. With my first pick, I'm gonna pick Will Lutz. But in all seriousness, let's talk about we're at like 30. I don't know the exact number. I know we're in the 30 range, $30 million in the 30 range, way more than that. But let's be honest, Nate. We overpaid Chandler. There's a lot of contracts that need to be restructured. Chandler Jones, I don't give a fuck. You better go. You better volunteer to restructure your contract because 4.5 sacks, paying you like close to $30 million, bro, ain't gonna cut it. You got to restructure that contract.
Bro, put me in there, bro.
Like,
I'll do 4.5 sacks.
How do you feel about signing, like over signing these players like Jacobs? Do you feel okay spending so much money? You just cut a guy because you're spending so much money. I know it's different. Jacobs is a dog. Do not get me wrong. Jacobs is an absolute dog. But knowing how running backs are, as we just talked about, how running backs are, they come in and they go. They're not easy to find, but they're easy to, get injured. They're easy to be like, damn, like 2-3 years, that was great. Like, okay, you're cut. How do you feel about paying him a lot of money, like close to $15-16 million?
JJ?
Yeah. I don't know his asking price. Maybe, you know what? Fuck it. I'll bring it up.
15, 16. I feel like he feels that. I feel he probably thinks that that's like respectable, knowing that what he did. But as for like us, I'll probably say like 14, 13. 14, 13 is probably like where we would most likely.
I'm gonna see if they got his. Yeah. I'm gonna see if they got his. It's probably gonna be updated, and he's probably not even gonna be on here. But let me see. Cause I want to see his market value, and as I suspected, he is not on here, bro. Let me see. Taiwan Jones is still in the league. That's crazy. I haven't heard that name in forever, but Now, I don't want to turn. This is a good debate. I feel like we're having a good debate because here's my thing. Well, remember the last time we paid somebody hella money for having one good season? I'm not trying to turn this into a him show, but that's what worries me. We paid Waller after one good season. We paid Renfro after one good season. What do they do afterwards? Someone tell me what they do afterwards.
I mean, it's tough.
Yeah, they didn't do shit. That's what scares me is that we pay Josh Jacobs and he's over here doing the Marshawn Lynch. He takes one carry and he's like, "Okay, bring me out. Bring Zeus in. Bring Zamir White in. Bring Brent Brown in." Like, I know I don't think that's Josh Jacobs. I'm not saying. I'm just like, bro, like it feels like with the Raiders, anytime they pay a man big money, not saying they don't deserve it, but after one good season, I mean, it's a great season. They don't perform the same way they did. I just want to stay close to that. I'm not saying, bro, you need to have another great season. But I better, if they pay you the money you want, I better see another 1,000-yard season. I better see 10 plus touchdowns. I better see 500 yards receiving. I better see like 5 touchdowns in the receiving game. You better block linebackers like there's no tomorrow. You better not let anybody touch the quarterback. Like, we as a fan base better see the same thing that we seen last season. Like, that's all I'm asking for.
Yeah.
If they pay JJ the money he wants, you better come next season, and we better see the same thing that we've seen this past season.
Become MVP.
Let me get in these comments real. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Big Mike pulling up. Raider Lugs. Thor in the building. Representing Raider Nation Drinking Club. Omar, bro, thank you guys for pulling up. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not hit it. Hit the like. Also, share the link around. We are getting a lot of comments. We are back. We've been feeling under the weather. News has been slow, but hey, we are back. I have a lot of thoughts on the Josh Jacobs, and then of course we're gonna have to discuss about homeboy real quick. That is, I don't want to say his name because I promise I want to say his name. He's a former player wearing the number 4 for another team, but it's more about us. It's not nothing on him. It's us. Ray Deluxe, let's be honest though. Back then he had to play hero ball with the O-line. This scheme helps him more. And Ray Deluxe, you're not wrong. And I get it. He doesn't want to play hero ball. He does not. And I hope he doesn't either. I just hope he does have some, like, I hope he shows what he showed next season. I hope he shows next season what he showed this past season. 808, coming from the Patriots regime, they really don't pay running backs top dollar, which is sad for us. But 808, I'll say this. There's a reason they tagged Jacobs. That's the thing. There's a reason they tagged Jacobs. If they were not going to pay him top dollar money, they would never tag him. They would have let him went somewhere else. Yeah. Big Mike, dogs, much love to you, Big Mike. Thank you, man. Thank you for the support. I believe Big Mike, did you just correct me if I'm wrong? It was you published something on planetraiders.com, right? A new art. I know I seen it. I think it was like 2 days ago or a day ago. I could be wrong. Check out planetraiders.com for showing support to the man, the myth, the legend, also Big Mike, and to everyone else running planetraiders.com. Really happy for them. Nice. I know you got Graf was talking about it for a long time, and to see it actually come through, really happy for you guys. Proud of you guys. Keep the grind going. 808 says Zeus, awesome. Zeus, Britton, and Sincere McCormick all on rookie contracts. And 808, I like Zeus, but I don't like him because his vision is ass, bro. Like Zeus's vision is like, it reminds me of Trent Richardson. I don't know if you remember him, Nate. Trent Richardson. He got, I think it was 2012 or 2013. He signed with us. Boy was amazing running back for the Cleveland Browns. Came to the Raiders, forgot how to play running back. Like, that's really what it came down to. Zeus reminds me of that. He just runs straight into our offensive line, doesn't look for the hole. He just depends more on his line than himself. And I'm like, it's got to be a 50-50. You got to depend on your line, don't get me wrong. But if the hole is somewhere else, you should be able to find that hole. This man does not, unless it's a wide open, like it splits like the Red Sea. But Brenton Brown, I want to see more out of him since Sim McCormick, of course, coming off of the IR. I'm very intrigued to see what Sincere McCormick can do in the preseason. I just don't know because the thing is, you're gonna have to wait for these to see these three running backs. You're gonna have to wait for the preseason. You don't really have time unless JJ signs the franchise tag and he wants to play on the franchise tag. Big Mike says 1 million field goals for less next season. Fantasy superstar for real. Yeah, bro. Big Mike, this is fact, bro. I'm counting 50. I counting 50. If we're going real numbers, it's gonna be 50. I'm definitely picking him up on fantasy. I struggled with kickers last year. Surprisingly, I struggled with kickers.
I don't remember. Who did you
get? Who did I get? I got Younghoe Koo.
Yeah.
From Atlanta. That offense was so, and the thing is, because I was like, okay, the offense is bad, so I'm gonna get a lot of field goals, bro. It was
the
so
kicker's
bad.
The best player on the team.
They couldn't even kick field, and then when they did kick field goals, bro, he missed like I think 6 or 7 field goals last season.
Well, it's also bad when the kicker is the best player on the team.
Yeah, that's what you hope for. Will Lutz is gonna be that guy. Raider Lutz. I feel like we have enough money next year to restructure and go all out on free agency and then be able to trade up for CJ Stroud. I'm really hesitant on the trade up for CJ Stroud just because of draft capital, but I hear you money-wise, I like it. Money-wise, I like it. Go all out on free agency, trade up. I mean, if you're going to go all out and you need to go, I think you need to go get CJ Stroud. Like, you need to make sure somehow CJ Stroud is a Raider. What are your thoughts on that, Nate? Like, going all out. I mean, we said it's time and time again. We don't really like going all out.
Yeah, the Niners I don't like the cause. I don't like the cause and effect of going all out.
Because, like I said, you go get it's like I said with Aaron Rodgers. We have to win a Super Bowl, and if we don't, you just set yourself up for failure years after if you go all out. Like,
yeah,
I would say this, Raiderless. What do you mean go all out? Do you mean
if it's affordable going all out? Then yeah.
I mean, if we're going all out on defense, I'm for it. But again, I don't want to overspend on players. I don't. But yeah, go ahead, Nate. What were you saying?
It's only a good go all out if it's an affordable type, like to where we can actually save money but still get the players that we need.
Yeah, I like that. Lux says, I feel they tagged him to see how free agency pays these running backs and try to work it out. Right, Lux, that's where I was going earlier in the show. You know, I think Ziegler just wants to see where is free agency going to head. What are they going to do? Who are they going to sign in free agency? And maybe even in the draft. Like I said, they got till July 15th to work out a long-term deal. Even in the draft, who are they going to go get? And maybe that kind of warms JJ up a little, like, okay, yeah, they did build around me. I'm ready to sign a long-term contract. That's where I'm at. I think this tag was to buy themselves more time and to show JJ, like, hey, we're going to build around you. We're going to build around you. He went on to say JJ had 3 good seasons, in my opinion, rookie year, last year, and when he made the playoff push based off his running, and of course last year. But I completely understand. And that, yeah, you know, I think who's to say those 3 years is all we're gonna get out of him? Like, that's what I'm afraid of. Omar says, I disagree, my man. JJ has been the focal point to this team for 3 years now. We just recently saw him under an above average run blocking O-line. JJ needs to be secure for the future. Omar, I'm not, you know, I don't disagree with that take. You know, I want JJ. I'm just hoping that he doesn't turn out like these other running backs in the league. I believe he's 24 years old, so he still is very young. You can sign him to a 4-year contract, let him go at 28, 29, where usually that's when running backs start to show regression. But who's to say, will JJ show regression? You know? Man, I just started feeling better and it's starting to come back. Tyler Rob, I'm gonna get back to that comment, bro. But let me get into these other guys. Omar, This is not the Patriot way, for crying out loud. Tired of hearing that. Bro, Omar, thank you, man. Yeah, I'm tired of hearing that too. Raiders haven't tagged a player since 2012, so at least we have that to hold on. Oh man. Omar, yep, he does. He has zero. I struggle with kickers and had a he had Buckner. Oh, bro, that man.
Butker, bro.
Yeah, he had Buckner.
Carlson is the way to go every single year. Like, come on.
Shout out to Wasted in the building, man. Shout out to the brother Wasted. If we have a bad quarterback, we need JJ Happy. Oh yeah, we do. We do. Yes, we do. Real quick, guys. So we got a Niner fan. Shout out to Tal Rob. He's a Niner fan. Still supports the Raiders Primos. Man, shout out to Tal Rob. Yo, what up, you guys? You think Carr will earn that money he got? Nate, why don't you take this, bro? Because then I'll start going on.
Will he earn it? I mean, I hope he plays well, just not when he plays against us.
Yeah.
So I feel like sure. I'm not gonna like hope for the worst or hope like talk down on somebody, right? Because that's kind of it's kind of rude. Just because he's not on our team, but when he does play us, then yeah, we're gonna absolutely say like this person can't play good. So I mean, for what he is playing on, sure, I'd like to see him. What was the question? Oh yeah, I think he'll earn his. I hope he does.
That's where I'm at. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Sorry, Ty Rob. Just gonna leave it at that. My dad said, if you got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all.
Bro.
So that's all I'm gonna say. Raider Lux, all out to me is giving up 2 firsts and 2/3. That's the most I would give up. Raider Lux, are we talking about Aaron? Who are we talking about? Oh, I think we're talking about CJ Stroud. Yeah, are we talking about CJ? Who are we talking about? Because now I'm like everywhere. Bad quarterback should equal Starfield defense. Raider, you're right on that. But I don't want a defense that has to save a quarterback's ass. Like, I know I said I want to build this defense, but I don't want us to be the Niners. You have a top defense that has to basically bail out a average or below average quarterback almost every week. Yeah, they're winning, but it's because that defense is just.
I mean, shoot, we'll take that defense.
Wow. That's what I want, but I still want a quarterback that can go win a football game. Like, people don't realize that I believe it was 9 times the Raiders offense had the ball last to either go down to either get the game tying score or get the game winning score. And the Raiders did not do it, but twice. 2 out of the 9 times, they only did it twice. And it was 2 times against the same team, against the Broncos, in the same game. So I don't even really count that. I count it as like 1 time. But it's like, I want a quarterback.
The Broncos is crazy.
Game-winning drives do matter, guys. I will say that. Game-winning drives do matter, but they don't tell the whole story. Some people take that stat and it's like, oh, the defense is terrible. No. Sometimes the defense kept you in the game and you just couldn't do shit until the last second. Like that's what I seen last season. The defense will hold and hold until and then the Raiders will either shit the bed still or they will, wait to the last minute to finally do something. But I mean, all out to me is giving up. Oh, he said when we asked him what does all out to him mean in the draft. All out to him is giving up 2 firsts and 2/3. That's the most he would give. I wouldn't do that. Draft capital is too important, especially now for us. Draft capital is way too important to give up. If you can move up maybe 2 spots to get Stroud, you can. But this is where we went. I think I said this on Cane Town's show. This is where winning those meaningless games hurt us. Like, I get it. I would never want the Raiders to lose. Do not get me wrong. I would never want the Raiders to lose. But when you're at 2-7 and you really have nothing else really to play for, you have that number 2 overall pick. Because I was looking in the future. We're at 2-7. I'm like, fuck it. If you're gonna tank, then tank. Fucking tank. Go get the number 2 pick. But then you want to play with our fucking hearts. and go on a 3-game win streak, just to then shit the bed completely the rest of the year.
Happy face.
And
Sad
now
face,
we're at the
happy
7th
face, sad
overall
face.
pick, when we could have been at worst or at best the 2nd overall pick. Like, that kind of pisses me off, because then we wouldn't have to be here, right, Raider Lux? We wouldn't have to be contemplating, do we trade up, do we not? Because you would already have that 2nd overall pick in your back pocket. But you went out and won these meaningless games that really did not matter. Let's be honest, guys. Those games did not matter towards the end of the year. We were ass and we finished ass. Like, there was no, like, I know we could go. They could go back and be like, "Well, you guys were optimistic." Well, of course, the season's going on. You always want to be optimistic. But I look at it now,
We played
and we're
pretty
in another
butt.
Nick Bosa situation where we could have had Nick Bosa. But no, we beat the Cardinals in 2018, and Niners picked him before we did.
It's to think about the people in the draft where we picked up Jamarcus Russell.
Okay. Fuck you, Nate. I'm trying to like keep positive. Now you just like kind of shit the bed.
Oh, he's gonna wanna he's gonna wanna really 1v1 me later.
Omar, this is where I'm at. That's why. I mean, you said it. I didn't. You said it. I didn't. Cane Town, what's good, my guy? What's good? Thank you for pulling up. Omar says, who is the most signed free agent y'all have in mind? I'm assuming you would say most free agent we should sign. I'm assuming, because for me,
yeah, the biggest free agent we should sign.
Let me go to my spot track.
To be honest,
I want to go. Yeah, you go. You go first.
I've been a fan of Poyer, for a while now. Like, even before, like I had Poyer on my Madden team on the Raiders, like in the last year or so.
Bro, just tell us you sucking his dick without telling us you sucking his dick.
Hey, bro, he's a good player. And I figured out that he was a free agent later on, and boom, like he's a good leader, which we do need a leader in that backfield position. He can, he's a good player. What's better? Even though he's a bit expensive, that's fine. Shoot.
No, I mean, I don't think he's that expensive.
He's a little over 10, right?
Isn't he 10 or 11? I think it's 10 or 11. I wouldn't mind that. And hopefully he can show Trayvon Merrick what, like, I don't know. I'm everywhere because I'm looking at the chat. Like, I'm like everywhere right now. But hopefully he can show Trayvon Merrick how to play safety. That's what I was gonna say.
Pause. Okay.
Yeah, big one. For me, I have to go with Javon Hargrave or Dalvin Thompson. Either of those two guys, because I want a defensive tackle. Yeah, we can go in the draft and get a defensive tackle, but I want to get a veteran in the defensive tackle position. Yeah, Andrew Billings, he played really good, getting somewhat of a pressure on the quarterback, helping in the run game. But I want a Hargrave or Thompson, someone who can get to the quarterback. Their market value is at about they got for Hargraves, it is about $20.1 million for 3 years. That is a hefty price. I already said I don't want to overspend players. He's 30 years old. For Dalvin Thomason, he's $8.5 million, 29 years old, 3 years. He's on a cheaper option. I would like Hargraves, but $20 million, I mean, if you could get him on a cheaper deal, bring him in. If you can't, go get Thomason. But those are the two guys that I hope that we can get. We need help in the defensive tackle position. It showed it all season long. That's who I want. That's who I want to get. Let me see. Tile Rob says, my dad's a Raider fan, and he says he thinks Carr's going to earn that money. He likes your channel, man. I got him listening, bro. Tile Rob, thank you for sending.
Thank you, man.
Sending the love out. Appreciate it. Yeah, we hope the best for Carr. We think he's gonna. We hope he earns his money. At the end of the day, I want him to support his family. I want him to, earn that money because that money's going to go, put food on the table, put a roof over his family's head. I hope the best for him. Just not when he plays the Raiders. I hope we whoop that ass. But by the way, Raiders and Saints play next season. So Nate, we making a trip to New
Mm.
Orleans? Because I don't
Oh
care
my
where
gosh.
they, bro. If they play New Orleans or they're playing Vegas, bro, we there. Like, but
Bro, in Vegas, we there. New
I told
Orleans,
my
we
no,
gonna
I
have
told my
to
dad.
play 'em.
My dad told me he's like they gotta put the game in Vegas. Like you gotta let Derek Carr come back to the nation.
I mean, both stadiums are freaking dope.
Beautiful, beautiful,
Yeah.
bro.
So I would.
Hey, and I would not. Hey, New Orleans people know how to party, so I heard they are really fun. So I would not be mind taking a trip down there. Um,
That would be good.
yeah, I think he's gonna earn it. Super. I always butcher the name, bro. Like, and it's funny because they told me how to say the name, but I always
Omnicron.
butcher it. Super Omnicron. Yeah. If draft capital is that important, move down. I only say that. I only say that if CJ Stroud is not there at 7. If that's the case, then you trade down. If they move up, they might as well get CJ Stroud. I agree. And that's the only reason I would agree. I'm not saying they shouldn't, but if you are, it's to get CJ Stroud. Um, or just stay and get the best player available at 7. I think if you're gonna get like a corner, like a Christian Gonzalez or any of these corners or a linebacker, you could trade back and possibly get your guy and get more draft capital. But if they are gonna move up, I agree. They might as well get CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
808. If the Raiders feel Stroud is our next franchise quarterback for the foreseeable future, then why not trade up? This draft is crucial. This will make us or break us for the next 10 plus years. 808, you know what? 808 and Super, you guys are convincing me because that is true. That is true. You can't just if he is the future, and I feel he's the future because I like CJ Stroud. I think he's a quarterback one ready coming into the draft. He could be a day one starter. I love how comfortable he is in the pocket. I love, his feet movement, how accurate he is with the football. He can improvise. He can take off and run when needed to. He's really calm and collective when pressure gets to him. That's that you guys are onto something. You might, this draft is crucial. 808, you're right. There's been many, many times we have not taken big risks. When we talk about risk, we talk about drafting players, but have we ever made a trade during the draft? I don't remember the last time we made like swapping picks wise. I don't remember the last time we did that. Besides late round, we probably done it. I'm talking about like first, second round when we traded.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't remember a time when we did it. I think Ziegler needs to, if like you said, because Ziegler did say he likes Stroud, and Stroud is his guy. Who's to say he won't trade up? And the thing is, also Seattle signing Geno Smith, that is huge. I think if they do draft a quarterback, it's late round. I think that signing, I don't see them drafting a quarterback in the first round. That is very huge for the Raiders because then they can. I believe I gotta get the draft order because I gotta
It'll
see.
give another good option.
Yeah, they'll get maybe a defensive player. If we're gonna go quarterback, they can get a defensive player, and it's just gonna help us. That's another team we don't have to worry about getting a quarterback. The draft order is Bears, Texans, Cardinals, Colts, Seahawks, Lions, and then the Raiders.
So that's
Texans,
good that we have no
Colts,
rivals.
Texans, and the Colts are the only teams right now that I see drafting quarterback. I know people say but here's the thing: whoever's behind us, who's to say is not going to trade in front of us with that number 1 overall pick to the Bears and draft a quarterback? That's where it's like, okay, we're fucked. Like, do we trade? Do we trade? Do we trade with the Texans? Do we trade with the Cardinals? Like, I think we have if you have to consider like, okay, you know what, Stroud isn't falling us to 7, which I think it's high. He will not fall to 7. You will be forced to trade up to 2 or 3. You may even have to trade up to 1. But bro, that number 1 pick is going to cost so much draft capital against the Raiders. And I mean, would you guys do that? Let me ask it. Let's ask the chat. And Nate, I'll ask you. Would you trade with the Bears, give up hella like ton of draft? Like, let's say you're giving up this year's first round. You guys are basically swapping picks. And you're giving up next year's first round pick. You're giving up this year's second round pick and next year's second round pick. Let's say that's what you give up. You give up the first this year, which is you're basically swapping. You're giving up next year's first. You're giving up this year and next year's second. Would you guys do that to move up to the first overall pick and go get CJ Stroud?
That's crazy. That's like, shoot, that's like giving up your draft picks for Aaron Rodgers. Like, what the heck?
But would you rather give up a? Would you rather do that for a young guy like Aaron Rodgers? I don't want to do it because he's 39 years old, and you got 2 years at best with him. Would you rather do it with a young guy that is going to be here, as you see, hopefully 10, 12, 13 plus years with the Raiders? Would you be willing to risk that?
Man, I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. I don't know. That's such a tricky question for me. What about you?
Let's see. I want to get this comment. In my opinion, I don't like that though, because regardless how many pieces we were missing, we won't be anywhere near top 5 in the draft next year, and we will trade way more for Caleb Williams or Drake May. And that's where I think I'm at. Because Caleb Williams and Drake May, like, people are saying they're better. They're better quarterbacks than the quarterbacks coming out this year's draft. So you're gonna have to probably give up way more than you're gonna give up for like a CJ Stroud. I think you are gonna have to do it. I think here's the thing, because 808 makes a good point. This draft is just too crucial for you to not take your quarterback, the quarterback you want for the future. Stroud is probably the best quarterback coming out of the draft. You gotta go get that quarterback for the foreseeable future, as he says, and pray to God that it works out. That's what
Yeah.
I'm scared for, guys. Because, yeah, like you brought up, Nate, we've been through the Jamarcus Russells. We've been through the bust of the first-round picks. Is Ziegler going to be the one guy that he hits on the first-round pick? That is not going to be like, fuck, we traded that. We wasted the first overall pick for CJ Stroud. Like, man, our scouting sucks. But I'm like, dude, I trust my judgment, even though there's no credibility to it. But I trust other people's judgment. I trust Ziegler's judgment. Ziegler says Stroud is his guy. I
Deal
trust
or
that
no deal.
he's seen what he had to see in Stroud in order to be like, I want him to be the quarterback of the Raiders. I trust that. I mean, what do you think? Was knowing that
Deal or no deal.
Ziegler wants Stroud, are you comfortable with him trading up to the first overall pick to getting CJ
If
Stroud?
mm, man, I mean, shoot. That's you just gotta hope to pray that works, bro. Like you
This
just
is
gotta,
yeah.
because
K-Town
if
said
it
it best.
doesn't
We should
work,
ensure we get
holy,
our guy and trade up to number 1. Otherwise, you risk someone else trading up to 1 and then getting our guy. Yeah, that's where I'm like, we're playing a lot. We're playing a lot of, man, should we trade? Should we not? Now, here's another guy. Let's talk about, guys. Let's talk about Anthony Richardson. Had an amazing combine. Nate, I don't know if you checked out Anthony Richardson's combine. His combine was amazing. Boy ran a 4.4. He stands at 6'4". Let me see. I don't know how much he weighed. How much he came in. He's 231 pounds, 6'4", ran a 4.4 in the 40. 4.44 in the 40. I love, he was accurate with the football. He did miss a couple of times, a couple overthrows. But there were more, mainly like either it was too high or it was just out of reach. 244 pounds. I like Anthony. Oh, he's over. Yeah, I'm going based off Google. I'm not going based off his combine, because I know they have a different weight on combines. 240. Still crazy. Like 240, running a 4.4 in the 40-yard dash.
it's crazy, bro.
He's accurate with the football. He's mobile. The only thing, the knock on him is that he is not like a day one starter that CJ Stroud could be. Would you take him at number 7? Would you take Anthony Richardson at number 7? He was a guy who was projected to be a late round first round pick, maybe a early second round pick. His draft stock just went way up. It was going up before the combine, and it went way up after the combine. He has now put himself into the category of he's going in the top 5, maybe in the top 10. If he's there at 7, you take in Anthony Richardson.
Um, and that depends. Like, I mean, I feel like with what he's shown us now, it's hard to say no, right? Because like what he did at the combine and everything like that, everything is like going up for him. Like, it would be hard to say no. But like, what if like there's like a star defensive player there also?
Yeah, I see where you're leaning with that. Anthony Richardson or Jalen Carter? But do we
That's
think Carter's stock is gonna drop because of the news that came out?
how
Shout
far
out to Sean
down?
Johnson, by the way, too. He did more reading into that and he let me know it wasn't as serious as people are making it out to be. Carter really just was misleading police because he wanted to, keep his image clean. He didn't want to really be part of that. He wasn't like he didn't do the killing. He wasn't part of the killing. He didn't kill nobody, but he didn't want to see be a part of it because he wanted to save his image. But it's like, bro, you were part of it, but at least he didn't kill nobody. But the thing is, from a
Yeah,
Raider standpoint, that's why I'm like, man, like you're gonna draft a guy that's kind of getting in the running with the law. Like
that's such a Raiders pick,
that's the most Raiders pick you would ever get.
bro.
like like that, bro. The memes are gonna be coming out like crazy. Like, oh, of course the Raiders pick Jalen Carter. Like, they just love getting more people for the Las Vegas County Jail. Like the memes are gonna
Bro,
come out like crazy. Like for me, when that news came out, I immediately thought of the Henry Ruggs situation. Now, of course, two different situations, very two different situations. Henry Ruggs actually killed somebody. Jalen Carter didn't. But it's just like he has that tie, with the police, and with this drama going on, and it's like if the Raiders pick him, it's like, do you really want that drama after what you just went through like a year ago? Like, do you really want that? And that's why I'm like, I don't really know. And do do we want to go get quarterback now in the early rounds? Because like we said, we don't think we're gonna pick here in the top 5 or top 10 again. We hope we're not. So do we go get quarterback or do we go get a defensive piece?
yeah,
But I hear you. I hear you. I think if Jalen Carter and Anthony Richardson are both there at 7, you and your team in that war room are really discussing who do you want to go after, because Jalen Carter, yeah, he has the issues, but man is a beast on the field. That you put Carter next to any of the guys that we mentioned on free agency, like the Hargraves or freaking dude from the Vikings, Thomason, like your D line is set up for success. But I don't know. I feel like I said it when Carr was here. Quarterback is the most important position on the field, and that would be hard. That would be very very hard. I'm
yeah,
glad I ain't making the decision.
yeah. We ain't no GM. I'm
I
good.
for real, like, cause man, I know my heart's gonna be racing though. Like my heart will be racing.
That's
I was
fine.
gonna ask you. Speaking of that, do you want to go live during the draft? And we give like our
During the
live
draft,
reaction.
I mean, sure, I'm down. When's the
And when that
draft?
day comes, we're gonna have to plan. We're gonna have to plan. It's in April, April 1st, 2nd, April 1st. No, no, no,
April,
no.
April
I'm
Fools.
over here thinking. No, I'm over here thinking WrestleMania. I'm over here. April 1st and 2nd is WrestleMania.
Yo, this man.
April. I don't know. Hold on. I know it's in April.
Oh, it's in April.
I
Okay.
know that. I know it's in April. Dates. It's April 27th on Thursday.
Mm,
We
okay.
could give our live reaction for
I bet.
our first round pick.
We'll do a mock draft right before.
Hey, for real, we'll do a mock draft right before. We'll do that. Raiders player. If Carter drops 7, take him. I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like it's Richardson or Carter. If you're staying at 7 and Richardson or Carter fall to you, that's gonna be for real. I'm so glad. I can't even imagine what Ziegler would be going through. Real
Right.
shit. Besides the experience, what makes CJ Stroud a huge drop off from Carr? Because I can't see it. Me either. I can't. Like, I'm not saying he's better than Carr because the thing is, here's the thing. I'm not saying he's out. He is better than Carr only because CJ Stroud has not proved anything. CJ Stroud has not played a snap in the NFL. So I can't. Now, does he show higher potential than Derek Carr? Yeah, he does. He
Mm-hmm.
shows that he can be better than Derek Carr, but it's not saying he is better than Derek Carr. Um, do
Please
you
God
see
be
any drop
better.
off from CJ Stroud, Nate,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to comparing him with Derek Carr? Like, would he be an upgrade?
Yeah. Anything new is better than something old. That didn't work.
Yeah. Shout out to Raiders player. He says we would have to sign a veteran bridge quarterback. Who's this? How do you feel about Stiddy? How do we feel about Stidham
City.
being a bridge quarterback if you get Anthony
As,
Richardson? Because that is true. If you get Anthony Richardson, you need a bridge quarterback. If you get CJ Stroud could come in and start day one. Um, how do you feel about
I like
Stidham
it.
being a bridge quarterback?
For Stenton to be a bridge, I feel like that would be the most comfortable way to go about it. Spending little as money as you can. Um, Still him being a decent quarterback. He could bring a bridge for how long? You would say
I would say 1 year. You have
1
Anthony
year.
Richardson sit 1 year, and then the following season he would take over.
Yeah,
He'll
I
learn one
mean,
year
I'm
under
fine.
Stidham.
I'm fine with that. I like
Um,
that.
and he'll learn basically the system under McDaniels and Stidham. Raiders player, I would rather trade back this year and pick up an extra first to possibly trade up next year. Raiders player, I like that. I only like that if you're getting more draft capital this year, which I believe that's what you're referring to. But to use it to trade up next year, a lot of people want Caleb Williams. A lot of people want Drake May. I just think if we really want the Raiders to go back to the winning ways, we're not going to get them because we're not going to pick too close to the top 5 or the top 10. And if we do trade up, we're trading up hopefully from like the 18th or the 20th pick in the draft that we're trading up. I don't want to be here next year. I don't want to be in the top 10. The thing is, we're here now. This is why I said if we were going to be here anyway, we should have just shit the bed the season and secure the second overall pick. That way we wouldn't have to talk about, man, trading up, trading back, all this. Like, I wish we secured the second overall pick, but we're here. There's some guys that could drop in the first round this year. And that's, Raiders Spur, we have to see it because, pro days and combine will have some guys get pushed back. You're not wrong. K-Town, y'all can go live with me and Big Mike if you want. Yeah, we'll let you know. We just want to come on right now. We are going to get out of here in a bit. Me and Nate are going to go with our friend. We're going to go shoot some hoops. Really just have a day to relax, decompress. But yes, K-Town, hit me up. If you or Big Mike are going to have a show, me and Nate will love to jump on and, give our thoughts. Or we will even invite you guys next time we go live. But yeah, let me know, bro. We'll have to plan something. We'll have to definitely plan something. Let me get these last comments in. Anthony Richardson could possibly drop. I believe he will drop. I think he will drop to the 7th. That we wouldn't have to trade up for him. If you're talking about he'll fall out of the first round, I don't think that will happen. Oh no, you said drop in the first round. Yeah, Anthony Richardson could possibly drop. Can't see Drew Sanders, Nolan Smith. Any of these guys could be available later in the first, and there's really good quarterbacks next year too. I hear you, Raiders player. Drew Sanders is Nate's guy. Nolan Smith, freak athlete, but yeah, Nate, your guy Drew Sanders. I mean,
Yeah, bro.
he's looking like he may
Please.
go into the first. He may fall into the first round. He was a second round projection, but he may go into that first round. I like, and if Anthony Richardson falls, yeah, maybe you could trade back. But I just think with the combine that he had, I just think his draft stock is way too high. I think his draft stock went just skyrocketed. Um, but I do like Drew Sanders though. I would take a Drew Sanders. Like, man, this draft is very crucial for the Raiders.
Yeah.
There's other quarterbacks in this class like Hooker. That's true. I know a lot of people are hyped on Hendon Hooker. Um, I just, we've been through. I just hope he's the same guy coming out of the injury. Usually, coming off of an injury, I know there's ACL injuries are not as bad as they used to be, but it's still an ACL injury. I mean, we had a cousin that tore her ACL during basketball. It was actually ACL and MCL that she tore. Was not the same. And I'm just hoping, I'm praying that Hooker, he gets better, recovers, but we don't know how he's going to play after an injury like that. Kane Town, I'm just waking up. Yeah, hey, no, yeah, bro. Kane, hey, we should, hey, we should get hey, Kane, we should get heck of guys like have a like draft watch party. Get heck of guys, you, Big Mike, me, whoever's not in Kansas City, because I know we have a couple content creators who's going out to Kansas City to go actually see the draft live. But yes, bro, we can go live. We need to keep in contact for that. April's, it's coming up, but it's still long ways away. But I'm super tired. My brain went straight to that. Went straight to like doing other shows that's coming up. But yes, we'll do that. Definitely, Kane Town. We'll definitely do that. But anyways, guys, Nate, any last thoughts, bro, on Jacobs? Any quarterbacks you want to talk about before we head out?
Nah. That's we just covered Hecka. Yeah, right there.
Yeah, we did. Excited, guys. Guys, free agency starts next week. We are definitely going to be watching the Raiders news. Hopefully, we get some more news coming out, maybe with this Aaron Rodgers rumors. Maybe we can see what because we still haven't signed Stidham. Maybe we could get, some Stidham news. Right now, the only quarterback on the Raiders is Chase Garbers. So hopefully we can get some Stidham news. Hopefully there's more some news on restructuring contracts. That's what I'm really watching out for. Is there any, cap space opening up? And then also the quarterback position. But anyways, you guys, we love you guys. Thank you guys for your support. Hit the subscribe button on the way out. Hit the like, share the link around. Even if they didn't, people didn't come in live, still share the link around. We love all the support. They can leave comments in the comment section. I look at all of the comments, and I try to reply to every single one of them. Thank you guys for just showing a really big support. Before we head out, though, now that DC is gone, can we get back to being a united nation? There's been a lot of times where me and Nate came into the chat. Our chat would get out of hand with, just guys going back and forth on it, guys coming at us for speaking on DC, in the past. Let's get back to being a united nation now. Now that he's gone, let's get back to loving one another because, we're all in this together. We all are Raiders. We're all Raiders. We all want one thing. That is to see the Raiders win a championship. We all want the same thing. Let's not forget it. It is not about one player. It is about this. It is about the Raiders. So with that being said, we love you guys. Stay safe. Happy Tuesday. We're going to catch you guys in the next one.
Keep Waller.
Later.